Summer ball always presents a new opportunity each and every day, and tonight the Elks have a chance to sweep the #1 team in the West Coast League. But if you thought that everything wasn't normal or it couldn't get even more weird this season, we got a helicopter on the field tonight in a special edition of Bend Elks Baseball. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. I'm Aiden O'Neill. Thanks so much for joining us. The Elks have taken the first 2 games of this series, and to kick off game number 3 amidst the cloudy sky overhead, a helicopter flying in and landing in center field. A super special afternoon. Landing right there, and it's still in center field for the first pitch. You see it there as Gavin Durr gets warmed up. And until that first pitch is flown or thrown, as it just was, the helicopter will get ready for liftoff. Will Cahill, a bit untraditional when it comes to where he's warming up in center field, a little closer in as the helicopter that is 40, 50 feet long, taking up the majority of center field. Tonight brought to you by Airlink, flying in this helicopter. The propeller's starting to get going. Maybe a little extra time for Durr warming up as Perry Schofield watching along tonight's home plate umpire. Rarely do you see a helicopter this close up, and I think what stands out to me the most is relative to a baseball outfield, how big a helicopter is. You see it in the sky most of the time, far away. You don't get the true perspective. But in a field where center field is 400 feet away, I mean, that is a big object. It is ginormous. How many warm-up pitches does Durr get? The helicopter lifts off. You see the wind picking up on the warning track, and both Cahill and Salvione having to hold on to their hats. And now Durr, just one more warm-up pitch. Courtesy of Airlink. Special Thursday night at Genna. That was a really cool moment. This week has been cool. You, of course, can say because the Elks have won 2 straight games. But I look back to last night, an electric guitar national anthem, absolutely shredded, and then the helicopter flies in. Unique and so fun, perfectly encapsulating the beauty of Bend. The Ridgefield Raptors, the best offense in the West Coast League, has been held in check by these Elks. Start with Carson Luna, Tomatako, Wada, Summers, Ladehoff, Weber, McCluskey, Blaylock, and Strutt. His time is now called. This is even more unique. We were about to start the baseball game. Perry Schofield, Rick Dunbar ready to go. And the crew of Airlink, even after the helicopter has already departed into the sky, is still on the field in their yellow jackets. Maybe they have to make sure the scene is completely clear. So Dom Husin, our great PA announcer, just told me that they have to wait for a certain amount of time after the helicopter takes off. They're now slowly departing. This is an eerie scene. Imagine you showed a picture of that baseball field to someone from the 1940s and said, so this game's about to start. Why is it delayed? and they would maybe call the people in the yellow jackets Martians or something and start making up these crazy stories. No, they're a part of the Airlink helicopter team that had to make sure the helicopter got off safely. And they're moseying off the field, too. What's going through Gavin Durr's head right now? You get juiced up, all the emotion to start a game, and now you're just standing there beyond the mound. Elks in their gold unis, black pinstripe bottoms tonight. Ridgefield in their maroon tops and dark gray bottoms. Gavin Durr, the Bend, Oregon native. 5.68 ERA, a 1.89 whip in the transfer portal after being at Washington State last year. And hey, we're ready to play some baseball. Game number 3 of this series, the first series of the season for the Elks. They swept the Springfield Drifters and now in a spot to potentially sweep the most potent team in the league. As Durr's first pitch misses low. Underway here at Genna, first pitch at 6:39. Little bit behind schedule, but of course, understood with the events that unfolded so far tonight. 2-0. And if Pierce can show me, I mean, a big part about tonight, too, is free ice cream. And I got the strawberry in the red helmet. It is really good. They had caramel, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, all complimentary for the people that came to the game tonight. So not only did you enjoy watching a helicopter fall down in center field, but you get free ice cream as Carson Luna's going to split the gap. Poor route by Murphy in right field allows for a stand-up double. And that's how this ball game gets started. Tough deal for Gavin Durr to stay loose during all that time off and then just get right back on the rubber and fire it in. So Raptors in business for Ken Tomataka. Luna, Tomataka, Summers, and Wattis have been the top 4 hitters in this lineup all 3 days. Tomataka back in the 2-hole after a 1-for-5 night yesterday. Take a ball that misses down. Tomataka, 15 driven in. This Raptors team so potent when it comes to knocking runners in, and the Elks have held them down. Tomataka grounds it to short. Sanders thought about going to third. He'll instead throw to first. 6-3 put out moves Luna up to third. And we'll now take a look at the Elks defense tonight. It's Pupo, Cahill, and Murphy in the outfield. First we've seen of Jackson Murphy this series. Then Braden Jones, Troy Sanders on the left side, Salvione and Miller on the right side of the infield, with Ortiz in the squat. Bringing up Zach Wattis. Infield stays back for these Elks. Big swing and a miss to Zach Wattis. Wattis has been out of this world, and although this series it's been a bit different as the Elks have done a good job. And OPS over 1,000. Durr out of the windup. Misses low. Wattis from Loyola Marymount University. Second in the entire West Coast League in home runs with 5. And really, a 5-tool player. Can steal some bags too. Takes a strike on the outside corner. A correction on that. Crawford and Pena are now tied for first. So I guess Wattis is still tied for second in the home run category. Check swing. He went, or called a strike rather, on the outside corner. I think both. But regardless, a backwards K for Durr. And there's 2 gone. Beautiful pitch by Gavin Durr on a corner. His first punch out. Bringing up J.T. Summers. The only difference tonight in the lineups from the first 2 days is that Wattis and Summers are flip-flopped. Wow, that was a whole ball in the zone. Not called a strike. Summers fouls it back. Gavin Durr, 6 1/3 innings pitched, entering the contest tonight. This is his first start. Elks have used him in the bullpen a ton this summer. 1-1 to Summers. Takes a strike. Perfect pitch at the bottom of the zone. JT Summers reached twice last night on 2 free passes, an error and a walk. One of the best hitters with this group. Pops that up foul and out of play. He'll stay alive. 1-2. Skied. Deep right center field. Murphy's giving chase. He's going back to the wall, and it's gone. Derek Dunbar said it wasn't a home run, but that was about 20 feet over off the signed Bend Elks baseball. And this should be easily overturned to give the Raptors a 2-0 lead. And good call by Derek Dunbar. Acknowledging it. That is an impressive swing of the bat. One of the more impressive ones we've seen here at Genna. A deep drive to right center. And oh yeah, that's 20 feet over. But that makes the dimensions of this stadium unique when you see it bounce back into play. For JT Summers, his 4th home run of the year, and the Raptors strike first. How the momentum can swing. 1 second, you're 1 out away from getting out of the inning after a backwards K to the Raptors' best hitter. And the next, JT Summers goes deep. Now Cade Ladehoff takes a strike. One. Curveball misses away. And there was a pitch earlier in that count to JT Summers that was a whole ball in the strike zone. It really changed the complexion of the at-bat, got him ahead, and may have resulted in that big swing ultimately at the end of the AB. Ladehoff grounds one to Jones, and that will end the inning. Not after, though. The 4th home run of the summer for JT Summers, and the Raptors have a 2-0 lead after the top of the first. Home half of the first inning here at Genna Stadium. Game 3 of 3 between the Elks and the Raptors. And the lineup tonight will read like this: Pupo, Miller, Murphy, Beck, Cahill, Sanders, who's been on another level, bull of the game last night, and then Ortiz, Jones, and Salvione to face the righty. Joseph Hasso firing a strike in 90 at the top of the zone. Elks the last two nights offensively have looked good. Yesterday was a bit slower, and the story was the pitching staff, but on Tuesday, a 9 spot against this Raptors pitching staff. Nothing in 2 to Eli Pupo, the Redmond product. 5 runs batted in, a 678 OPS. A lot of speed at the top of this order, though. Outfielder out of Bushnell. Also misses down on the pitch. It's been bumpy so far for Joseph Hasso, a 13.5 ERA in just 4 innings. But still early on in his summer campaign. Pupo taps it foul and will stay alive. With how competitive this outfield unit has been for these Elks, it's tough for any of these guys to get truly some consistent playing time. And the same thing can be said for Eli Pupo. Happy to see him in there tonight. Pops it in and out of the catcher's glove in McCluskey. We'll do it again. Went down to an E. Looks like brand new catcher's gear for the Ridgefield Raptors backstop. Shiny. Or he just takes really good care of it. One of the two. And he got Pupo swinging. McCluskey has to clean it up. His throw to first in time. Now look at the Raptors defense for tonight. Blaylock, Strutt, and Wattis in the outfield. Tomataka, Luna, Weber, and Ladehoff with McCluskey catching. Bringing up Jace Miller. Miller takes up and away for a ball. Saw Jace in the lineup on Tuesday night. Reached in 3 of his 5 plate appearances, but those numbers still down for his standards. Coming off the injury that took him out of the lineup at Oregon State. That makes it tough. You come back to Bend, a lot more pressure on your shoulders for Jace after winning the batting title. First time an Elk has said that in 20 years. Ground that to the glove side of the third baseman, Tomataka. His throw to first is offline, and Miller's safe. Ladehoff could not apply the tag. An error on Ken Tomataka, as that throw was just haywire. And a great effort by Jace athletically to get there. I don't know. It looked like the tag may have been applied, but there was no dispute by the first baseman, Ladehoff. Yeah, he didn't get him. Time was called for a second. Looked like head coach Chris Cota in his 7th season went out to chat with home plate umpire Perry Schofield, but nothing changed. And that'll bring up Jackson Murphy. Murph just a 641 OPS, the outfielder out of UC Davis. Take up and away for a ball. This is Hasso's second start. His first was last Thursday against Yakima Valley. Just went 2 innings and gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs. But the first start really hurt him gave up a grand slam. That was the Thursday prior, so it's been a thing for Hasso to pitch one day before the Friday weekend. Breaking ball gets the call. Goes to Cal State Fullerton, entering his senior season next year. Program that used to be one of the most dominant in the entire country and has since petered off a tad. Miller dances off at first. Pitch home to Murphy's popped up. Left side of the infield, it's Ken Tomataka in foul territory. The 2 outs for Cam Beck. Miller on first. The 2 Oregon State teammates here in the field in Bend for this first inning. Becks look better as of late, but those numbers still quiet. Just a .599 OPS. Short lead for Miller off of first. Now dances as the pitch misses away. Ridgefield's pitching staff was quite good last night, but what really harmed them in night one was a couple of timely free passes. There's one. Gets away from the first baseman, Ladehoff. Miller moves up to second, and the Elks have a runner in scoring position. The second error of the inning. Oh, man. The throw is low, but that's a ball that needs to be caught by Ladehoff. Saw that goose egg in the RBI column for Cam Beck. An opportunity to change that. Big swing and a miss. Oregon State, obviously a tough place to crack when it comes to consistent playing time. Always in the regional powerhouse in college baseball with the talent that they produce. But both Miller and Beck, outstanding players. Beck didn't see a ton of playing time, being a youngin'. Former player of the year in Utah in 2025. Take a strike. 1-2. Oregon State, this part of the country, one of the best baseball programs, arguably the. And is seeking to get some more playing time. As 2 outs, runner in scoring position, and Miller in the 2-0 Raptor lead. And he got Beck down on strikes. So despite the 2 errors, run, and the Raptors take a 2-0 lead into the second. Rolling along here in Bend, Oregon, Genna Stadium, 2-0 Raptors, as the first pitch to Jackson Weber is served into left field and caught by Eli Pupo to open up the frame. Good sign by Gavin Durr, who gave up the home run in the first to JT Summers. All started with a leadoff double to Carson Luna, and then the Raptors had the big swing of the bat, something they haven't really gotten so far in this series. But ultra important, just as we've seen with this entire Elks pitching staff, the name of the game is consistently attacking the strike zone. That one just missed low. Perry Schofield behind home plate. Derek Dunbar on the bases. Our crew that we've had all series long. I'm wondering how Derek's hand is feeling after yesterday. I'm sure I said it on the broadcast last night. Dunbar's happy to be out there at first tonight, as Jones's throw to first is way over Miller's head. Going from first to second is Reagan McCluskey. Now he's going to try to go to third. One hop strike there is up the line. And a costly E5 is a Little League triple. I mean, Braden Jones, you want to talk about the one guy you wouldn't expect to do something like that. It's him and Will Goodman. And he did so. Took the chance. He saw when Jace Miller picked it up, he didn't think that there was any chance McCluskey tried. And he ended up getting all the way to third. So the Elks infield will consider creeping in for a moment. And now it's Jaden Blaylock. Take a strike at the bottom of the zone. A 1. Jones, that's baseball. You get another chance, but it was just foul. He knocked it down and bobbled it. He would have had to had a quick throw to Jaden Blaylock at first base, but fortunate for Jones, it went foul, and I mean by a hair. I think Schofield made the right call, though, because Jones got it just before it went to the base. And it was on the left side of the foul line, referencing where Schofield is standing. Oh, 2 with 1 out, pitching for the K with that runner on third. Check swing, good block by Jordan Ortiz. And appeal to Derek Dunbar says he did not go. Jaden Blaylock, just a 118 average with 3 runs batted in. And he got him looking. Gavin Durr goes to his slurve. And Blaylock can't get the bat off his shoulders. Both Ks from Durr have been of the looking variety. And a big one there. Down 2 outs. Bringing up Ben Strutt. First we've seen of Strutt this series. Take a ball away. That's another one that could have been called a strike. Harry Schofield on that outside corner has not given a lot of love. Strutt takes on the 1-0. Ben Strutt in center field tonight, the 5'9", 170-pounder. And he'll ground this one. Braden Jones. And all is well in the baseball world as Jones got another shot. It's funny how that works. You make an error, the ball continues to find you. And when Jones got a second crack at it, he made up for it equally as well. The burgers are grilling, so are the dogs on the barbecue in left field. Elks trail it 2-0. Well, Cahill gets a large round of applause. Wonder if he's got some family in town. Around the first pitch he sees to the second baseman Weber and put away. Was blazing down that first baseline though. Cahill so fast.
Now batting for Bend, shortstop number 29, Troy Sanders.
Now Troy Sanders. Sanders had his best night of the season on Wednesday. A triple away from the cycle. And we're hoping starting to maybe hit a new stride as he takes a strike on the inside corner. Good stuff so far from Joseph Hasso. Raptors have been waiting for this out of their Thursday night guy who's struggled so far to start this year. Sanders newly committed to Bethune-Cookman in Florida. Take a 12-6 curveball for a strike. Arizona product from Tucson. He's been at GCU the last couple of years with another Elk, Marcus Galvin. And he punches out on 3 pitches. Filthy pitch from Joseph Hasso. The Elks couldn't pick it up. And already the third K of the night for the righty. Ortiz says hello to Schofield and McCluskey. And with 2 outs, we'll look to keep this inning rolling. Taking a strike at the top of the zone. Jordan Ortiz just has 9 at-bats this summer, entering his sophomore year at Loyola Marymount. And man, the talent is there. You can see that athletic frame with a whole lot of skill. But the Elks seemingly can't pick up anything out of the hand of Hasso right now, as Ortiz was out in front on that one. Ortiz, then Jones and Salvione with 2 outs in the second. This is down and away, 1-2. Although Ortiz didn't see a ton of playing time when it came to at LMU his freshman campaign, in those short bursts, both defensively and with the bat, there were signs. Drove in 13 runs. Takes outside there. Just a 220 average coming out of San Jose, California. Valley Christian High School there in that ultra-competitive WCAL conference. And you know when you're already playing that elite competition in high school, it carries over. As Ortiz hits that foul down the left field line, do it again. Speaking of the WCAL, as a kid got a souvenir. A lesson to all of you guys. You bring your glove, it increases the likelihood of getting a ball. It's a crazy concept. So bring your glove. You don't look dorky, it's cool. Especially when you catch it. Ortiz pops it foul. And going on a tangent with that too, what's more dorky, if you have that issue and you're thinking about it, about bringing your glove, oh, I care about what other people think. Would you rather catch the ball or look even worse trying to barehand it and then trying to hide your pain with your bright red palm in front of your girlfriend? No. So bring the glove. Ortiz punches out, and that will end the inning. Joseph Hasso has 4 Ks through 2 innings and hasn't allowed a hit. We'll go to the third. It's 2-0 Raptors on the Bend Elks YouTube page. Top of the order for the Ridgefield Raptors here in the third. Already 2-0 Ridgefield. Elks offense has been quiet. Durr fills up the zone on a fastball. Carson Luna opened up this ball game amidst our helicopter talk with a double in right center. Swing through in 0-2. Luna from Houston, Texas, attends Michigan, entering his redshirt sophomore season. Burr goes to that slurve, stopped by Ortiz. All this talent now making its way to Ridgefield after Cowlitz and Ridgefield are now essentially one. But Durr got Luna there. Ortiz tags him for good measure on the drop third. Gavin Durr has himself his third K. The first that has come swinging. Turning it to Ken Tomataka. Tomataka grounded out in his first debut, and a slight overshift to the pull side for him. Pop up the first pitch. High, far, and out of play. An Elks pitching staff that entered this weekend with the worst whip in the entire West Coast League has completely righted the ship. Tomataka to Jones, near the back. His throw to first is in time. A quick 2 outs, bringing up Zach Wattis. And when you still look at whip, the Elks are still the worst in the league at 1.86. But man, it's starting to climb down, improving to 8-12 after being 6 games below 500 starting this week. And the pitching staff has given up a combined 5 runs in the 3 games they've played. Tonight, Ridgefield's seen it a bit different. Zach Wattis singles into right to keep this inning going. Just the 3rd hit from the Raptors. And time is called as pitching coach Wes Harper will go have a chat with Gavin Durr. Bullpen is quiet for the Elks. And a lot of this chat, too, as Wes puts his left arm on Ortiz's back, is chatting about how you're going to face JT Summers, a batter that homered in the first inning. On a swing that felt eerily similar, and this one had more launch angle, to Aiden Talarico's in the opening weekend. A ball that was crushed to right center field with backspin. It kept on carrying and went long gone off the Bend Elks scoreboard. The lone 2 runs of this game. Summers is late. Good job by Durr, pounding the zone and giving these Elks a chance. Wattis off of first has some speed. This is low, gets away from Ortiz, but not far enough. Wattis somehow, with all the power that he has, also leads the Raptors in stolen bases with 9. And with 2 outs and Summers up, definitely a time that he could think about it. 1-1, 2 outs in the top of the 3rd. The heater misses down and in. Wattis reads it in the turf. Throw down to second. Salvione couldn't catch it. Oh, man, a perfect throw from Jordan Ortiz. Truly on the money. He fielded it to the left side of home plate, and his throw down to second had this natural 2-seam action on it, where it moved in and out. A good read by Wattis. He saw ball in dirt, we'll call it, but ball in turf. And the throw was there. If the tag's applied, Wattis is out. But instead, Summers gets to hit with the runner in scoring position. What that does do, though, is it gives Wes Harper and this coaching staff a reason to just not pitch to Summers in a 3-ball count. No reason to throw him any pitch in the zone. Durr, a long look in on the 3-1. Fouled away. That curve or slurve caught a lot of the zone. Fortunate that Summers just fouled it back. Full count with 2 outs. Durr at 41 pitches. Summers skies it, foul and out of play. Down in that beer garden, not as many people over there tonight, but still a good crowd overall that got to see the helicopter fly in to start this game. We have Airlink, everybody with them down the left field line in the barbecue deck. So good night for baseball. Summers fouls it away, same spot. Keep on battling. You see Airlink there. The decorative tables, how about that? American flags. And a good time, burgers, hot dogs, enjoying the game. We really appreciate them coming out tonight and making what would normally be just a normal Thursday a pretty special circumstance. As Durr gets him swinging. Down and in tight on the slurve. After Summers homered in his first at-bat, Gavin Durr gets him in the 3rd on the K. 4 punch-outs for him as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Thanks so much for joining us on this Thursday night. Aiden O'Neill up here in the broadcast booth. As always, Elks trail it 2-0. But another pitcher's duel. This is very similar to what we saw last night. The Elks obviously coming out on top with a couple of timely swings. The Troy Sanders homer. But it was 2 pitchers that were going back and forth, and it was what group is going to crack first. Joseph Hasso has been great on the mound with 4 strikeouts in just 2 innings. Jones will take low. Jones, Salvione, and then Pupo. As you see the turtleneck for Braden Jones, it's not a warm night tonight at all here in Bend. A lot cooler than we've seen over the last couple of weeks. Jones well out in front of the changeup. 72 degrees. Uno, I think that might be generous. 13-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I think it's more than likely around 67 as Jones swings through it. Another K for Hasso. He has 5 strikeouts, and he's only faced 8 batters. I mean, my goodness, that is pure domination. I don't know what it is that the Elks aren't picking up. But Joseph Hasso is in cruise control. Down the highway with his windows rolled down. And Salvione will take a strike. Penny, no homers, 3 runs batted in, a .517 OPS. Was not in there last night, but during the opening night went 1 for 4. And it was a generous hit. It was called a knock because it technically was by the definition that is put into the game. But it was a ball that was lost in the dusk late in the game. 2 outfielders came together and could not see it. Salvione fouls it away. When you put the ball in play, though, anything can happen. And the Elks have been accustomed to this bad luck, maybe hitting the ball hard right at a guy. It all turned around on Friday night against the Raptors. That 9-2 win. 1-2 to Vinny. Flips one into right and down for a hit. The first hit of the night for the Bend Elks, and takes a hard turn before putting on the brakes. It only took 9 hitters. Let the Elks have a knock. That's another one not hit particularly hard for Salvione, but just massaging his way into right field. And we're to the top with Eli Pupo, who struck out in his first at-bat. Square to bunt. Get it down just in front of home plate. McCluskey picks it up. His throw to first gets Pupo. Salvione up to second. And that's Pupo purely bunting for a hit, you'd guess, with 1 out. Because now you need a 2-out hit from Miller. Then he had that hit that Zach Wattis had no shot at in right field. And yes, that was just Pupo trying to sneak attack the third baseman in Tomataka, who was well back. But the bunt was right out in front and allowed for an easy step and throw. Jace Miller will hit with his best bud, Salvione, in scoring position. The two have carried a relationship for 3 years now and reunited in Bend in more of an unexpected fashion, joining late and excited to contribute to hopefully more winning ways as the season continues. 0-2. Miller swung out of his shoes and signals to the dugout that that's that changeup. They have not picked up that changeup all night. He's had a variety of off-speed pitches. That was the first one that looked like a changeup. There's been others with different movements, though, as Hasso steps off. Miller in his first at-bat reached on an error, but it would do wonders if the Elks could score here. Get back on track. Vinny with the 2-out jump would easily score on a base hit. Chase pops it up, foul and out of play. Got here a little later than I normally do today, so parking across the street. Go any foul ball that way, I'm holding my breath. If Dom says there's a Toyota Corolla across the street that just got pelted with a baseball, I might leave. Miller grounds it softly. Hasso has to get over quickly and does on a well-executed PFP to end the third. The Elks strand a runner in scoring position are still held scoreless. To the fourth on Bend Elks YouTube. Cade Ladehoff will step up for the Raptors to start off the top of the fourth. Still 2-0 Ridgefield. If you're just joining us, it was just the home run by JT Summers in the first inning that had any offense in this game. That one's chopped foul off the facing of the Raptors dugout. Aside from that, it's been Hasso and Durr going pound for pound. A duel on that turf. Ladehoff takes away. Ladehoff, Weber, and then McCluskey. After Ladehoff grounded out in his last AB. Hit the 2-1 to deep center field with backspin. Cahill's still going back, and it's off the base of the wall, bounding into the trees on one hop. A ground rule double in big boy land for Cade Ladehoff. He's getting himself some courtesy when it comes to the wind blowing straight out to center field. But that doesn't take away from how impressive of a swing of the bat that was from Ladehoff. He crushed that baseball that hit off the track and over. It's already 3 extra base hits for the Raptors. Weber fouls it back. That's been the difference when prepping for this series between these two teams. The Elks haven't hit a lot of extra base hits, and obviously the pitching struggles have been on top of it. But the Raptors are top 2 in the league. After being held down the last 2 days, the offense looks the part here on Thursday. Weber flew out in his first at bat. Ladehoff stands at second. 0-2. Broken bat. Gloved by Miller on one hop. Kicks away from him. His throw to first. Stopped by Durr. But a broken bat single for Jackson Weber puts runners on the corners with no outs. Chase Miller really had no chance at that ball. It was a broken bat, and yes, you'd love if he got the glove on it, but gosh, that's a difficult play. Even if he did, I don't know if Durr would have been over there in time. So Reagan McCluskey will bat. Square to bunt. Pull back and take low. Maybe thinking about a suicide or sacrifice squeeze here. If you go with the safety squeeze, that's obviously easier to get down with Ladohoff at third. He squares again, pulls back, and takes a strike. So they are going for that safety squeeze. The difference, of course, is if it's a suicide squeeze, Ladohoff is stealing on the pitch. A safety squeeze is he's waiting to see that ball get down. And with Durr being the lefty falling off the third base side of the rubber, it makes sense to maybe try it. Doesn't square here, Ortiz catches it down and in. Ladohoff at third, Weber at first. No outs in the fourth, the first bit of trouble that Durr's seen in quite a while. Fastball is called a strike. McCluskey from Dallas Baptist University, originally from Brentwood, Tennessee. And in 2025 was the #1 catcher in the state, rated by Perfect Game out of high school. Got him swinging. Now Jaden Blaylock. Gavin Durr punching out these batters at a high clip. He's got 5 as the fastball is called a strike. Although we're not running the beer batter tonight, on those nights off, we still pick them. And Dom and I at the top of the leaderboard right now. We're rolling. 0-1, misses. Jaden Blaylock punched out looking, and what made that K for Durr so big is now it sets up a double play. With 1 out, you get a ground ball. You get yourself out of this inning. 2-1. Richmond, Texas also goes to Dallas Baptist. Just a freshman in 2026. Didn't play a lot, but a part of that talented group. As the fastball misses low. 3-1. Strut on deck, and then the top of the order. Ripped foul. That was loud. 104 off the bat. Almost took off the head of the Raptors third base coach. Watch out down there. But a nice job by Durr working back. Runner on first in Jackson Weber. 2 stolen bases. That's grounded and could be 2. Sanders, Salvione, to Miller, double play, and a huge turn in a big spot as Durr gets the ground ball. The good old 6-4-3. Blaylock bounded it into the ground, and the infield did the rest. To the bottom of the fourth, Elks with some juice. The heart of the order coming up for the Elks in the bottom of the fourth, starting with Jackson Murphy. And Joseph Hasso has been virtually untouchable. Johnny Kemp a little late to get down there to third, but move those legs, Johnny. Safe. He made it. Murphy softly to Weber. 1 out. It's Cam Beck, who struck out in his first at-bat. What's made this outing so impressive for Joseph Hasso is usually when a guy has 5 strikeouts at this point in the game. He's thrown a lot of pitches. He's only at 43. This has been ultra efficient, and the Elks batters just can't find any barrels. Beck puts a charge into a ball. Deep to left field. Going back is Blaylock. At the wall, it's off the base of it. Beck hits first. He's into 2 with a belly flop double. That ball was hit well off the bat by Beck. And a good sign for the power-hitting outfielder to get things going offensively. Just put a charge into a ball into that gray night. Cahill on the first pitch. He sees it's off the glove of Weber. Beck gets the wave around third. Then it's bobbled by Strutt. Cahill's trying for 2. He's out. Beck still scores. It's 2-1. And the Elks cut into the deficit. I'll tell you what, I think Cahill was in there. Can't really tell. Cahill thought so and was pretty adamant about it too. So to go down as an RBI single for Will Cahill. Just his 3rd run batted in. Sanders. Foul. That was awfully close. Then the put out, it's 8-4 on it as he tried to stretch it into a double for Cahill. Sanders will now take that slow walk back to first. That was the Elks' first extra base hit of the night. And it came in a timely spot. Sanders. Watch out, Johnny. Was that Tuesday night Johnny got hit or yesterday? All the days are blending together. Tuesday night. It was just about 80 off the bat, but Johnny got hit down there at third. Would become a lot more serious if a ball hit that hard. Ended up plunking the Elks' third base coach. Sanders hits that deep to left. Back goes Blaylock to the wall. He leaps. Sayonara! Troy Sanders, for the 2nd straight night, has himself a homer. And Derek Dunbar and Perry Schofield were on different pages, but I was watching Schofield the whole time, and he had a bomb. 2-2 the score. How about that for a Troy Sanders swing of the bat? Gorgeous. It was just 94 off the bat, but it had the proper launch. And two big swings for Sanders. Yesterday to tie, or yesterday to take the lead, and today to tie. Blaylock gave it his best effort, but you see it hits off that fencing just beyond the yellow line. And Sanders was ready to keep running. But the reason I kept with the call is because I just see Perry Schofield walking out there like this the whole time. Nobody else knew but Perry. I think Sanders just wanted to have some fun on that homer. He thought a traditional trot yesterday was just not that fun. You hit 4 bases, yay, home run. Instead, today I'm going slide, belly flop, walk in, helmet throw. Three and one. But how about this for an answer from this Elks offense that has been held down? Murphy started off this frame with the ground up, then the Beck double, a Cahill single, and a Sanders home run. Ortiz, gloved by Tomataka on one hop. His throw to first can't be dug out by Ladehoff, and Ortiz reaches. This is going to go down as a hit. It was an ultra tough play from Ken Tomataka. Something that we did not foresee coming. A mound visit between Tyler Jackson, the Raptors pitching coach, and starter Joseph Hasso. Hasso has been so dominant that you just assumed he was going to keep rolling along. But the second time through the order to the middle of the lineup has caused him some harm. So Braden Jones gets a chance to hit. Home run and the single, both coming with 2 outs. Ben seeking more thunder. Jones takes a strike. One of Joseph Hasso's 5 Ks is Braden Jones tonight. But constantly in that lineup with the stellar defense. Take a changeup down and away. Though the Elks had the Raptors' number all last season, neither one of the series they were able to sweep. So this would be a prime chance against one of the more talented Raptor teams we've seen. Jones fouls away the 1-1 off the glove of McCluskey. Hasso deals. Ortiz goes. Grounded to Weber. Double clutch on the throw to first, but still gets Jones. And that'll end the inning. But a big frame tying this game at 2. And the big swing. Troy Sanders to left. Blaylock gave it his best effort, but the leap at a wall, not enough. Sanders is second of the year, his second in as many days. And we'll go to the 5th, all knotted up. Gavin Durr still moving along into this 5th inning. 62 pitches, 4 innings, 5 Ks, and all weekend long. That BB stat, there hasn't been a high number there. And that's the reason why the Elks are winning games. It is the reason. And Gavin Durr tonight is giving the Elks another prime opportunity with this effort. Strutt, Luna, and Tomitaka, 9-1-2 in the 5th. Coming off a bottom of the 4th where the Elks played it a couple. Offense finally got going. Troy Sanders with a big swing to left field. They're looking to harness some momentum. Strutt rounds one to Sanders, who fields it. Has to hurry with the speed of Ben Strutt, but got him on a strong throw. He really was moving down the line. And Sanders, for a while, deep in the hole at short, was trusting his strong arm. Almost cost him. This is Carson Luna. Takes low on a ball that skips high behind the catcher and Ortiz. The race, solo. Flip to Key to Nato. Hasn't been as consistent, us seeing those bat boy races. There's usually just been one on the Elk side, which has been a shame. Want to see the race beyond home plate. Luna takes a strike, 2-1. Carson Luna doubled to start this game and punched out his last time. Take a strike, 2-2. Garrett Schmokel starting to get loose for the Elks in the bullpen. Right-handed pitcher in the transfer portal was at Everett last year. That's cued. Funky spin to Miller at first, but handled with ease. 2 outs. Chase Miller ready to hit the links. Back pocket glove. I know Jace golfs too, probably a pretty good player. Best on the team though is the man in right field tonight, Jackson Murphy. And that's just the assumption because on his UC Davis page it says he, I believe, is a 6 handicap. And his life goal is to one day become a scratch golfer. So if he already has that motivation to be the best on the links, he probably will be. Gavin Durr picking up right where he left off. This is down and in on the curveball. I feel like being good at golf ranks amongst one of the coolest things a guy can do. Like being really good. That is a next level flex. It's what every guy wants. Tomitaka flips one into shallow right, and there's Murphy throwing it back in. Here's Zach Wattis. I mean, it's proven when it comes to business that being better at golf is a good thing. Getting more opportunities. And also just, it's so hard that everyone admires it. You wonder why dudes admire pro golfers. Is because what they do seems impossible to the average man. Because, honestly, it kind of is. Wattis is 1 for 2. Take a strike on the outside corner. Gavin Durr, funky stuff. The southpaw, and being in the transfer portal, if he can throw strikes at a high rate, he really is highly touted. with a fastball at 88 at the bottom of the zone. You see the 6 hits, but still 5 Ks and no walks. Those are the 2 stats I want you to pay attention to. And this might be the last pitch he throws if he can escape. Runner on the move. Wattis hits a fly ball to right center field, but Murphy camps under it and makes the catch, and that will end the inning. 5 outstanding frames for Gavin Durr, giving the Elks a chance to win, and although he gave up 6 hits, the only blip was the 2-run home run that came back in the first. Home half of the 5th when we return. Harrison Hofarth, the new pitcher for the Ridgefield Raptors in this 2-2 game. Bottom of the 5th inning, a 4.26 ERA, 2.05 whip. And we got a new PA announcer for this frame. It's Hunter Herco. Vinny Salvione. Take low. 9-1-2 this frame as well. Salvione, Pupo, and Miller. Same thing the Raptors had going in the last inning. Salvione was the first hit of this game. Joseph Hasso was untouched for a lot of his outing. And Salvione got a single in the 3rd, and since that moment, Hasso couldn't recollect his feeling, and that's why Hofarth is in this game. Hofarth, a 4.26 ERA and 6 1/3, 8 strikeouts. 6'3", 225-pounder, hometown kid from Vancouver, Washington. And he takes in tight. Salvione, a year after being at Bowling Green, looking for a good summer before he enters the portal. Final year of eligibility coming up. Take up and away, 3-1. The leader on this team, seasoned vet, and a fan favorite. Salvione takes a strike on the outside corner. That outer third's been inconsistent for Perry Schofield tonight, and really have gone either way. That time to Hofarth, the southpaw that goes to Seattle U. And he walked Vinny. Wow, that is the first walk of the game. I can't believe I'm reading that right. The first walk of the game in the 5th inning. Eli Pupo will foul back the first pitch. I mean, of course, that's a shock on the Elk side. 1.88 team whip. But Ridgefield, too, they're middle of the pack in the pitching categories. So for them to have not walked any guys so far also is wildly impressive. Pupo pops up the 0-1 foul. Pupo chatting with the dugout. Maybe he saw something unique on that delivery. 86 up and in tight. Back foot on the back of that batter's box. Hofarth 0-2. Right back to Hofarth. The catch, throw to first, double play. And nothing Vinny Salvione could do. The cat-like reflexes from Harrison Hofarth. Caught it. And then an easy throw to first. Once again, you can't blame Vinny there. Looked like that was going right back up the middle, which in that case, he would have been forced to run. Jace Miller with 2 outs. Take up and away. Beauty of a series finale is it's going to come down to the wire. On the Elk side, tough to sweep a team, and Ridgefield, a tough competitor. Ace reached on an error in his first at-bat and grounded out to the first baseman, Ladehoff, back in the third. Fan and miss at that curveball. Oregon State-colored elbow guard there for Miller, although he's now in the portal. Outfielder from Medford, Oregon. An icon here in Bend, but he punches out there, and that will end the inning. Good work by Harrison Hofarth coming in for Joseph Hasso. But the play of the inning, it was that double play. It caught Hofarth. He just reached his glove out. Got Vinny on the double play. We'll go to the 6th. All tied up at 2. Gavin Durr's night is over. 5 innings of just 2-run baseball. And now it's Garrett Schmokel time. A 9.45 ERA. for Schmokel in 6 2/3, 2-7 whip. And he'll face JT Summers, the occupant of the lone 2 runs for the Raptors tonight on the 2-run blast that came back in the first inning. Summers, Ladehoff, and Weber, 4, 5, and 6 in this order. 2-0. Garrett Schmokel from Washington was at Everett this last season. Now in the transfer portal. Whoa, up and in on Summers. He had to duck out of the way of that, hold his breath. Summers punched out his last time, but you don't blame the Elks for maybe not wanting to give him anything to hit. Schmokel lost him on 4 pitches. So that's now the first walk for the Elks, after the Raptors broke the seal on the free passes last inning.
First baseman, number 35, Leadoff.
Bringing up Cade Laudehoff. Schmokel called a strike, his first strike. Laudehoff doubled in the 4th in an inning where the Raptors had a chance to score and left some runners on base. Fastball misses up and in tight. Last time that Schmokel worked, back on June the 20th against Kelowna, where he wasn't able to record an out. And the last 2 outings for him have been similar with the base on balls. Just losing batters and not being able to recover. Go back over to check on the runner and Summers, who's just back. Summers, no stolen bases on the season, but Schmokel's still giving him the time of day over there. Two and one. Braven Nason also getting loose in the Elks bullpen, so a backup plan for Schmokel. Things go awry. Hitters count. 3-1. Jackson Weber on deck, then Reagan McCluskey. His time is called between Sanders, Salvione, and the pitcher and Schmokel. Really got to get Garrett back in the zone, more than capable. And some good stuff for sure, but now just about putting it together. Gets the call. That's a great job coming together and getting Schmokel back on the right track mentally. Big payoff. Ball 4. Went to the curveball, 3-2 there. And there's runners on first and second with nobody out. Mason's getting loose quickly. You wonder how long until Alan Cox, Wes Harper, and crew make that move. You want to keep the Elks in this game. Cherry on top would be sweeping the Raptors after already winning the series. But the flip side, you go to Portland tomorrow night and got to have pitching for that. Jackson Weber, square to bunt, pull back and take in. A bunt would move 2 runners into scoring position if executed well in this tie game. Foul back. has to be the aggressor to Jackson Weber. Force him to get a bunt down. It's easier said than done. 1 for 2 with a single for the Arizona State commit from Phoenix, Arizona. Going to try to back pick the runner at second in Summers, who's there safely. Pierce and I both Sun Devils ourselves, of course, so cool seeing a future member of ASU baseball and incoming freshman playing here in the West Coast League before we're all working together in the springtime. Schmokel's fastball misses up, pulled it back. 2-1. They run the wheel play. Jones will stay at third in this case on a bunt that gets down. Miller will crash in hard, and then Salvione should cover at first. That's what they're doing. Big swing and a miss for Weber, who swung at ball 3 that was well over his head. That's a break for Schmokel. Big difference between 3-1 and 2-2. Summers on second, Lauterhoff on first. No outs in this frame. Schmokel works. Wild pitch. Summers up to third, Lauterhoff up to second. That hurts. Time is now called. Derek Dunbar taking a look at that baseball. Was he checking for sticky substance after that ball missed so far outside? The way he patted it on his hands, it was almost like he was looking for something. The infield's forced to come in now. No double play set up anymore. Ball 4. In a game where the Elks have avoided the free pass, Garrett Schmokel, 3 straight walks in the 6th, and for his second consecutive outing, unable to record an out. Braven Nason coming in, looking to escape a tough jam here in the 6th when we come back. Braven Nason enters in the 6th inning with the bases loaded and nobody out. Look at that, a 1.42 ERA and a 1.42 WHIP. Rarely do you see those two numbers identical in the righty out of Bellingham, Washington, goes to Skagit Valley College. Been a pleasant surprise for this Elk staff. Reagan McCluskey will hit. Corners in, middle infield back. First pitch fastball, called a strike. Six and a third for Braven Nason. 8 Ks to just 2 walks. McCluskey 0 for 2, reached on an error and then struck out his last time. Still early enough where the Elks will take a ground ball here, even if it means giving up a run. Slider misses up, 2-1. Vocal walked. The base is loaded. Nason looking to be a wizard. Somehow get out of it. It goes by Miller on the line. 1 run is in. 2 are in. Now they got him in a rundown. It kicks by Miller. Moving up to second is McCluskey, and everybody's safe. Summers and Lauderhoff came in. Weber to third, McCluskey to second. 4-2 Raptors.
Now batting for Ridgefield, left fielder, number 4, Blaylock.
That is awfully frustrating. You go from 3 walks to start the inning to a 2 RBI single. I believe they're going to rule it a hit because it was hit 104 off the bat. And then 2 runs in. Wow. Jaden Blaylock will hit. Swing through it. Been a 2026 characterized by the Elks shooting themselves in the foot. So far tonight, been the same. Tough for Nason too. All those runs that came in, the 2 go against Garrett Schmokel. But Nason looking to pick up his teammate. Blaylock's 0 for 2. Big swing and a miss. And whoever's right beyond us, they told Blaylock what to do. And he listened. Swing. Probably would have swung anyway with that pitch over the heart of the plate. Strikeout here would go a long way for Nason. Got him. More help from the fans on the first out of the 6th.
Now batting for the Raptors, center fielder, number 15,
Ben
Ben Strutt.
Strutt with 1 out. If you can limit the damage in this frame, you give yourself a good chance moving forward tonight. Still 12 outs to play with, only being in the 6th. Fastball misses up. Now this fan's getting a little cocky that I got him to swing twice. I can do it whenever I want on command. Didn't there. Infield 3/4 of the way in. Down and away, stopped by Ortiz. Ben Strutt from Scottsdale, Arizona. Goes to the College of the Canyons and formerly was at Santa Barbara City College. A lot of pinch hit spots, but gets the start tonight. Fouls away the 2-0. Looking for a 4-year home strut. In spots like this, if he can execute, likely help that dream come true. As the fastball gets the call and a gift from Perry Schofield. Gets Nason back into the count, 2-2. Nason fires. Just away. Open base on first, and then the top of the order on deck in Carson Luna. It's McCluskey on second. Weber on third. Strut went around. Ortiz will clean it up, throw to first, 2 outs. And back-to-back Ks for Braven Nason with 2 runners in scoring position. Got the Elks 1 out away from getting out of this.
Now batting for the Raptors, shortstop, number 44, Carson Luna.
Fastball misses up and in. Braven Nason lets his game do the talking. So soft-spoken, but as nice as they come, and a guy you love to see succeed. As Luna swings through it, 1-1. Midfield now able to play all the way back. Luna skies the 1-1. Deep to left field with backspin. Pupo's going to the wall, and he makes the catch on the track. That went about as far as it possibly can without it being a homer. And after an inning started with the bases loaded and nobody out on 3 straight walks, escaping with only 2 runs allowed isn't the worst case scenario. Bottom of the 6th, Elks looking to answer when we come back on Bend Elks YouTube. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Vince Genna Stadium. 4-2 Raptors on top. Murphy, Beck, and Cahill, the heart of the order that catapulted the 2-run 4th inning for the Elks. Back up this frame. Murphy, though, is 0 for 2. Looking back to that 4th, he started it off with a ground out to the second baseman Weber. And from there, the Elks had 4 straight hits. So Murphy looking to get in on the party against the lefties, still going, and Harrison Hofarth. 3 pitches, and Murphy's down. That's the second strikeout for Hofarth. Cam Beck will hit. Had the double in his last at bat. It's his second double of the summer. Take up and away on a ball. Hofarth working quickly from that third base side of the rubber, the tall frame. 6'3", 225 pounds. I mean, I'll say again, just like I did last night. I know Hofarth only at 6'3", but these Raptor pitchers are huge. All the orange and black gear for Beck, repping his school in Oregon State. Swing through the fastball. Loads of talent from Beck, shining in the state of Utah. And changing it up this at-bat. Usually Cam Beck will have a protective piece here and there, but no padding. I know who would be happy about that. Pierce's dad. Good old-fashioned baseball. Hofarth's 2-2. Up and away, full count. Any way the Elks can get that tying run to the dish will be a good thing. Beck starting to see it better. Ball 4. One out walk brings Will Cahill to the dish, representing the tying run.
Now batting for the Elks, center fielder number 34, Will Cahill.
Will Cahill, who singled his last time, brought in a run, and then was thrown out at second after the bobble by Strutt in center. Still unsure if he got the hand in or not. But bringing in that run did a lot for these Elks. Eased them into the ball game, set up the Troy Sanders homer a batter later. Trailing by 2 now. Longing for more. Hofarth will check on Beck, who's back standing. Beck not a base stealer, so that move from Hofarth could just be to keep the batter and Cahill thinking. Fouls it back, 0-2. I'll say it again, it seems like beyond home plate, Will Cahill's got some family in attendance tonight. A lot of cheers when Will Cahill steps up to the bat. And he strikes out on a looping breaking ball at 67 miles per hour.
Now batting for Bend is shortstop number 29, Troy Sanders.
Troy Sanders skips in for a ball. Now Beck's caught up in between first and second. The throw down by Lodahoff was late, but it still got Beck. That is bonkers that Cam Beck got picked off on that pitch. And I'm not sure what he saw, but it was a one hop down and in tight, and he thought that that meant go.
All right, Elks fans, we have the Northwest Generator Pros Power
To the 7th, 4-2 Raptors. The Sisters Mountains just beyond left field is clear as ever, usually covered by clouds, but gorgeous tonight. Cade Finazzo, now the new pitcher into the ball game for the Bend Elks, to go through the heart of this Raptors order in a 4-2 Ridgefield lead. Raptors looking to avoid the sweep. Tomataka takes a strike. Cade Finazzo from Cal State San Bernardino, a 5.14 ERA and a 1.71 WHIP. Breaking ball misses up and in. Tomataka to Jones at third. Glove flip to the throwing arm. 1 out. Just got to stay in striking distance and hope another comeback is mounted. Tomataka's 1 for 4 tonight, and now it's Zach Wattis. Wattis swings and misses. Just 1 for 3 tonight for the Raptors' best bat, the powerful lefty. Finazzo misses down and in. Cade is as quick as you will see. Maybe one little grunt, a pause, and then right back home. That misses outside. Finazzo just 5 Ks to 3 walks. He's really pitched to contact so far in 2026. Skips in for a ball. Was it Cal Baptist before Cal State San Bernardino, originally from Highland, California. Full count. Also did some hitting, 3 at-bats in 2026 for Finazzo. As Wattis in a full count. And he walked him. Walk puts a runner on base, and now we'll take a look at the West Coast League scoreboard on this Thursday, June the 25th. Obviously, you're watching this game, 4-2 Raptors. The 9-0 on top of Victoria, 2-0. How about Wenatchee? 13-3? Best team in the North right now. Corvallis playing the Marketmen, up by 5. Drifters and Sweets are tied at 8 as the first pitch misses up and into Summers. Bells on top of the lefties, 5-2. Kelowna beating Kamloops 5-4. And the Pickles, who the Elks go to tomorrow afternoon, up 3-0. Fastball misses low. Been an interesting year for the Portland Pickles. Much more up and down than we usually see. They're losers of 2 straight. That's to avoid the sweep tonight against Marion, as the pitch goes to the backstop and moves Wattis up to second. The Elks are just 1 game back of the Portland Pickles. That's a year after the Pickles won the West Coast League South. They lost in the championship to Bellingham. The year prior to that, they won the whole thing. And then their first year without head coach Mark Magdaleno, maybe taking a significant step back. I still believe this is the case. Ridgefield's been knocking on the door, but if they win tonight, they should clinch the first half and a playoff spot. Finazzo with another walk to Summers. The second time that Cade Finazzo's walked a batter. And Alan Cox has to go to the bullpen. In the last 2 frames, the Elks have walked 5 batters. And that's the reason why Ridgefield is now in control. Carter Hess in relief when we come back. Carter Hess enters for Cade Finazzo after Cade walked the last two batters. Hess, a 7.88 ERA, a 2 whip, man from Lapine, Oregon, goes to Mount Hood Community College. He went to Summit High School right here in Bend. Just like my producer, Pierce. It's fouled away. Good effort at Deuce Sims. Now they're all looking at the baseball. I promise, fellas, it's the same as the rest. Lodahoff 1 for 2. That's called a strike. Hess coming in out of the pen and pounding the zone. Two-way guy, does both pitching and hitting, but for the Elks has really been used primarily as a pitcher this season. Goes by Ortiz. Pass ball or wild pitch, 2 runners move up. And this is all happening with no hits so far this inning. They're going to rule it a pass ball. I think that's probably the correct call. One that Ortiz should have caught. Now Hess really needs to pitch for the K. It hit him. And it hit Ortiz, too. Oh, no. Bases are loaded with 1 out. You hope Jordan Ortiz is okay, who might have got it in the throat. Yeah, that caught him right in the throat. One of the worst places to get hit if you're a catcher or an umpire. How about this? For the second straight inning, without getting a hit, the Raptors have loaded the bases. Elks back to their old ways that have harmed them previously. And the batter's Jackson Weber. Fastball misses up and away. Ortiz is okay. Didn't even need to see a warm-up pitch to keep rolling along. One for two is Weber with a walk. Popped it up, foul. Out of play. Had a good crowd on hand tonight. A chillier night for baseball. These Bend residents used to some glorious weather during the summertime, but also used to the snowy winters. I know this last winter was not as much as previous seasons. Weber swings through it 1-2. But put on a hoodie and come out to the yard. Don't want to miss out. Weber, the future Sun Devil. 7 runs batted in this summer. Grounded. This could be 2. Jones goes to home for 1. Ortiz's throw to first, not in time. But if Jones thought he wasn't able to get the double play around the horn, that was the best decision possible. 5-2 on the fielder's choice. I think that was the right call, especially knowing how fast Jackson Weber is. Making the hitter, Reagan McCluskey. Hess works. Down and away. The piggyback effort from Cade Finazzo now looking to get picked up by Carter Hess. And if the Elks can get out of this inning going into the 7th inning stretch, picking up some momentum, could mount a comeback. 1-1. Hess's fastball gets the top of the zone. Summers on third, Lauterhoff on second, Weber on first. Breaking ball. Misses in tight. Man, that could have gone either way. Just touching the black on the inner third, but no oblige. Biggest spot in this game so far for the Elks. Them loaded, 2 outs. Already a 2-run deficit. Fastball skied foul down the right field line. We'll do it again. Carter Hess, who's been used in some more low leverage roles so far this summer, in a pretty big spot here. And arguably the biggest one he's faced. 1 strike away. Oh, everybody was flinching. Full count, 2 outs. Summers, Lauterhoff, and Weber will all be on the move as soon as Hess commits home. Major pitch. Here's the payoff. Walked him. Coming in to score is JT Summers. It's 5-2. And the Elks have walked in a run and haven't allowed a hit this inning.
Now batting for the Raptors, left fielder, number 4.
Unbelievable. Make that RBI number 3 tonight for Reagan McCluskey, and this time he didn't have to get the bat off his shoulders. Jaden Blaylock will take high. If you're looking for some sort of takeaway, everybody in the building knows what it's going to take for the Elks to consistently win games. Because you saw it in the first 2. You don't walk batters or don't give up free passes, and you're in a good spot. But Blaylock scolds that ball down the left field line. It's down for a base hit. Lauterhoff will score. Weber's up to scoring as well. And moving up to third is Reagan McCluskey on the 2 RBI double from Jaden Blaylock, making it 7-2 and blowing this game wide open.
Now batting for the Raptors, center fielder, number 15, Ben
Jaden Blaylock runs batted in number 4 and number 5 in his first double of the summer. This Raptors offense that is second in the entire West Coast League in extra base hits has woken up tonight. Oh, and 1. But they wouldn't have even had these opportunities if it wasn't for the Elks walking as many batters as they have. Oh, 1 misses down and away. Just got word that the Berries Pickles game was postponed due to rain for the rest of tonight. And that's why all that text is jumbled together where you can't see it. It looks like one of those exercises where you have to put your eye to the port on your phone and look through it, and then you can read it perfectly. McCluskey on third, Blaylock on second. That's big news because the Elks go to Portland this weekend, and the reason they're playing a doubleheader that's scheduled on Saturday is to avoid inclement weather. Stroud is 0 for 3. Hess's fastball's called a strike at the top of the zone. Hope that we don't experience any delays over the weekend in Portland and get in those full 3 games. Hess's 2-2 misses low and another 3-ball count. This inning has gone from bad to worse. You see now, bottom right of your screen, game postponed due to rain, makeup date TBD. Postponed. They had to say it twice. S is 3-2. Another walk.
Now batting for Ridgefield, shortstop, number 44, Carson Luna.
That is the 4th walk of the inning. The 5th free pass because there was a hit by pitch to Cade Lauterhoff. And now the top of the order gets to hit with the bases loaded. Big swing and a miss. Luna 1 for 4 with a double. That hit came all the way back at the start of this game. 0-1 grounded to Jones at third. He goes to second. And we'll get the runner in strut to end the inning. Raptors score 3. They only scored 3 on 1 hit. Stretch time at Genna. Elks trail by 5. Elks now playing catch-up, down 7-2 in the bottom of the 7th. Troy Sanders will dig in against the lefty Harrison Hofarth. Sanders was up when Cam Beck got picked off to end the 6th inning. So he will stay up to bat this frame. And crush another one deep to left field. He's already homered once. Why not again? On top of the grocery outlet, Troy Sanders. Sayonara. On another level, a 2-homer night. Troy Sanders woke up yesterday with 0 home runs and has 3 now. Ortiz takes a strike. I mean, that ball was hammered. Maybe it still hasn't landed yet. Ortiz takes up and away. He knew it. Oh man, the bat flip too. Maybe not down 5, but why not? A lot of game left. When you hit it that far, anything's acceptable. As Ortiz takes down and in. Now Troy Sanders, the team leader in home runs with 3. Ortiz, base hit into left. This Elks offense waking up in the 7th. Ortiz with the barrel at 93. And pinch hitting here in the 7th is Kevin Ferruta. So it's Ferruta for Jones. Ferruta pops up on the first pitch he sees to Ladahoff at first. 1 out. His time is now called, and it looks like the Raptors might be going to the bullpen. So Harrison Hofarth tonight is done. He gave up the home run to start this inning to Sanders. Then Ortiz singles. He puts away Ferruta. And a new arm when we come back. On the Bend Elks YouTube page, it's Boston Jensen, the righty. New pitcher into the ball game is Boston Jensen, the righty, and he'll face Vinny Salvione. Single and a walk has reached in both at-bats. Jensen works home and misses up. Boston Jensen, a native to the West Coast League, was a Raptor last season as well. So far this year, a 9 ERA and 8 innings with a 2.13 whip. Salvione skies one to left, but in the park. Blaylock is there. 2 outs. And the top of the order coming up.
Now batting for Bend, left fielder number 2,
Eli Pupo against Jensen. He's 0 for 2, grounded into a double play. Or not grounded. That's incorrect. He lined one back to the pitcher. It was caught, and then throw over to first in time. You just are so used to the ground out on a double play that the unconventional one happened when Pupo was up. Pupo, soft, fly ball in his center's down. Going from first to third is Ortiz. Lot of speed. Pupo has to hurry back to first. Was almost backpicked, but the inning keeps going. And that's the Elks' 8th hit of the night. I mean, for a catcher, Jordan Ortiz, are you kidding me? Moving that fast? That is some serious speed at that position. And that would have been nightmarish if Pupo would have been thrown out. Miller has been quiet. 0 for 3, reached on an error. Take outside. Although Jace has been quiet to start this year, more than capable. One of the more talented batters in this lineup. What we've seen the last 2 years is it's 2-0. They're letting him hear it. Down here with the patrons, each time Jensen throws a ball, they're letting him know how many. Miller. Oh, man. Just out in front. We don't have the distance on our TrackMan, but that was up and in tight and could have gone on top of the grocery outlet. Three and 1 to Miller. Isaac Pfeiffer has a bat on deck. And just like that in this inning, if Miller were to reach, Isaac Pfeiffer would represent the tying run. Pupo goes. Miller pops it up. Luna has to go back on it and makes the catch. That pop-up played tricks on him momentarily, but still made it look routine. Troy Sanders, though, for the second time tonight, another bomb. And this one, long gone on top of the grocery outlet in left field. Elks still trail by 4 to the 8th. Eighth inning here at Genna Stadium, and the Guitar Man is back. I still have yet to see him play it. But he's walking this time, which is good. Love to see him play some chords. Maybe him and Vinny can write a song. Josh Johnson, the new pitcher in the ballgame for the Elks. He is the sixth pitcher that the Elks have gone to. It has been tough. 27 ERA, a whip of 4 for the righty out of Western Oregon. Will face Ken Tomataka. Fire and a strike at the bottom of the zone. Tomataka 1 for 4 on the game tonight. And he pops up. Frustrated, broke his bat in frustration. Miller sees it in the tough sky. One gone. It has been a rough go of things for Tomataka. 1 for 5 night. Overall, a series that hasn't been great. That was all his might. Straight into the turf. In the series, in all, just 3 hits for Tomataka. Zach Wattis will hit tonight's attendance, 1,058. Get yourself a community that cares about the local baseball team as much as Bend. Would love to know, based on city population, relative to the amount of people that come to the game, how many the Elks get by percentage, because it feels like it would be high. There's a couple of things to do in Bend. You float the river. You can go on a hike. Pierce is the local, but you can shop. And then I think the Elks got to be in the top 5 of that, of things to do in Bend. Especially at night when every restaurant closes at 7:30. 4-pitch walk to Zach Wattis. And when you're not pounding the zone, it's hard to get calls on the corner. Seven walks in the last 3 innings. Prior to the 6th inning, the Elks didn't walk a single batter. That was with Gavin Durr. And then Garrett Schmokel struggled, and since then they've walked a ton. As Summers puts a charge into a ball over the head of Cahill in center field. Hitting second and heading to third is Wattis, looking like a gazelle. He'll round and head to home. Salvion's throw not in time. It's an RBI double for J.T. Summers, making it 8-3. Cahill just got his feet tangled up which way he wanted to go, picked it up off the track, and they did all they could on the relay, but Wattis with good speed. That's the 3rd run batted in tonight for Summers, who had the home run in the first. Now it's Cade Lodahoff. Summers' fastball misses low. Lodahoff has had himself a good night. Double, a walk, and a hit by pitch. Fastball misses high. Now, if you're the Elks, just want to eat some innings and save some bullpen for this weekend at Portland. 2-1. After this, the Ridgefield Raptors will head back home to Vancouver, open up a 3-game set against the Springfield Drifters tomorrow night. Three and one. Almost all of those reserve seats beyond home plate cleared out. You usually don't see that angle. Called a strike. Johnson gets himself back into the zone. Even Airlink gone for the night. And although that attendance was over 1,000, the bedtime is early here in Bend, and we might be at 400 now. Ball 4. I mean, I think the most frustrating thing in baseball is walks. It takes the cake. It's already so hard to hit. All-Stars, Hall of Famers fail 70% of the time. So to see a guy get a free trip down to first with how difficult that task is, just feels not right. At least the crowd that's left is having themselves a good night. Still can enjoy whatever snack you got on hand, maybe a beer, even though this late you stop selling. 0-1, rounded sharply to Ferruta at third, touches third, throw to first, offline. Ferruta entered for Jones when he pinch hit. The 5 unassisted on the fielder's choice. 2 outs. And Reagan McCluskey will hit. What I'm thinking about at this moment, and I'm looking on the West Coast League website, is who is game of the week tomorrow? You'd think that'd be announced by now, but I'm not seeing anything. Oh, and 1. Last week it was Pippins and Berries opening up the game of the week slate. Unsure what the West Coast League is showcasing for tomorrow night. McCluskey has himself 3 runs batted in the 7 spot. 2 RBI single and then walked with the bases loaded. 0-1, more Ferruta, and he'll tap third to end the inning. A scorebook scoreagami, 2 5 unassisted in 1 inning. That's unique. The beauty of baseball. Bottom 8 coming up. Elks down 8-3. Isaac Pfeiffer, the pinch hitter to start off this inning for Jackson Murphy. Take guy against Boston Jensen. 8-3 Raptors on top. Looking at the Elks so far tonight. More walks than strikeouts as a staff, and that's been the story. As Pfeiffer goes right back up the middle. He's been swinging a good bat in his limited opportunities, and we're all noticing.
Now batting for the Elks, number 39, Genna.
Cam Beck. Double and a walk. Also struck out. We'll take up and away. Whoever's a part of the fans tonight just wearing him out. It has been quite the experience. Each time Jensen throws a ball, he's hearing it loudly and proudly. They commit to Utah Tech after being at the College of Southern Nevada. 2026, a 7.2 ERA. 20 innings pitched. Got to put your rally caps on and start to believe for these Elks to come back down by 5 in the 8th inning. They've really been on the other side of comebacks more often than not. But the one that stands out from an offensive side was on June the 17th against Yakima. Beck takes a strike, just skidding the inside corner. In that game, the Elks were down by 4 entering the 9th inning and put up 6, ended up winning 15-13. In a thriller that catapulted them to ultimately take the series in Yakima. And they came back home, got swept by Kelowna, but start this week have been much improved. Jensen's payoff. Beck grounds it softly. Luna to second, throw to first, double play. 6-4-3 around the horn. And I mean, our talking points are put into a nutshell with these stats. The Ridgefield Raptors, they've also given up 9 hits. But what's the difference? 8 Ks to just 2 walks. They haven't given the Elks free bases at all. And Ben's only left 4 on base. Cahill takes away on the fastball. So for this team to have continued success moving forward, it's going to have to be getting that whip down as a staff. 2-0 to Cahill. The offense, a 938 OPS, just 3 runs in. Hasn't looked bad at all, though. 3-0 to Cahill. Listen, you get on base for Troy Sanders, who already has 2 home runs tonight. You never know what could happen. Cahill swings 3-0. That'll end the inning. 8-3 Raptors heading to the 9th. We're to the ninth. 8-3 Raptors on top. And another Western Oregon product, piggybacking Josh Johnson. Michael Fitzgerald, the lefty, 5.79 ERA, a 1.29 whip. He'll face Jaden Blaylock. Blaylock takes away on the ball. Now some folks moving to the preferred section, bundled up in blankets. It's that time of the night with the wind blowing left to right. Blaylock, Strutt, and then the top of the order. Blaylock, his last AB, doubled. Has 2 runs batted in. Fitzgerald, 5 Ks to 2 walks. In his 4 2/3 on the mound. 1-1 misses in. The Elks have used 7 pitchers tonight. Some have been used in small roles and kind of getting everybody an opportunity in a game that's been lopsided. Want to make sure, though, that for that weekend series against Portland, you've got as many hands on deck as possible. Those bouts last year against the Portland Pickles for the Elks got so competitive. And it really is a rivalry in a sense. There's another walk to open up the ninth. Ben Strutt will hit. But to play the Pickles again, go back to Walker Stadium will be a whole lot of fun. Elks weren't able to face off against the Pickles in the playoffs this last year, but in 2024 had an ultra-competitive battle all season long that culminated into a playoff matchup where the Elks fell to the Pickles. The Pickles ended up going on to win the entire West Coast League. Long pause for Fitzgerald. You can hear a pin drop here at Genna right now. 1-1. These fans looking for something to cheer about, to get behind with these Elks. Against the Pickles last year, the Elks just picked up 1 win. So a sour taste heading to Portland tomorrow. Back pick attempt by Ortiz. And Blaylock is back safely with the dive. This is Strutt's 5th at-bat. Raptors approaching their 6th time through the order. Three and 1. Blaylock yet to record a stolen base this summer, but a hefty lead off of first. Another walk. Not much else to say when you can see it right there on the screen. 2 walks to start this inning. And it's now the top of the order, forcing Wes Harper's hand on a mound visit. Although the Elks used a lot of their top arms in the first 2 games, this has got to be frustrating for Wes Harper and co. because you finally got away from the walks and the free passes and were throwing strikes at a high rate. And then on Thursday night, you're back to your same old woes that have put you 4 games below 500. walks alone. The Elks have walked 10. Batters that have been able to just waltz on down to first without picking the bat up off their shoulders. Carson Luna's 6th time through the order. Hits it well, right at the left fielder in Pupo, who makes the catch on a line. There was 96 off the bat, but a line out for the first out of the frame. And the official stats have it at 11, so that means I missed one. Yes, I did. I'm seeing it now on my scorebook. The reason I missed it is because it also brought in a run. So I had it in green instead of orange. 11 walks. 7 strikeouts. Ken Tomataka will flare one into shallow center in front of Will Cahill for a base hit. Hitting third and heading home is Blaylock. He'll score as the throw goes to Miller. It's 9-3 Ridgefield. And the second hit for Ken Tomataka.
Now batting for the Raptors, right fielder, number 23, Zach Wattis.
Now it's Zach Wattis. New pitcher getting loose for the Bend Elks. And they're getting Deuce Sims warmed up in the bullpen. He has been the go-to position player when it comes to throwing innings on the mound and blowouts. And he might get another chance tonight. Watch out down there on the Wattis foul ball. 0-2. Zach Wattis has just continued to get on base all series despite being held down in the extra base hit department. Still doing damage. With all of his speed, a threat. But he strikes out there, 2 gone. And we'll take one final look around the West Coast League tonight. Wenatchee on top of Yakima, 16-4 now in the bottom of the 8th. Corvallis is beating the Market Men, wherever they may be from, 17-4. Walla Walla beating Springfield, wow, 15-8. I believe when we checked in last, that game was tied. So 7 unanswered for the Sweets. Bellingham beating the Port Angeles Lefties 8-3. This is now JT Summers. Take a ball. Kelowna doing it again. 10-6 in the top of the 7th. And the Nine-Mo's gone final with Victoria 2-1. And then, as we said earlier, Portland and Marion, due to the weather, postponed. Summers takes down and away. JT Summers has had quite the game. Obviously, all the natural talent jumping off the page. But here on Thursday has reached in 4 of his 5 plate appearances. And now Jordan Ortiz will call time and go and chat with Fitzgerald. Was it Santa Rosa Junior College, where he tore the cover off the ball. 356 average, slugged .531, 8 homers, 50 driven in. Now this summer, dominating, where it's resulted in a commitment to Oregon for the next season. Getting to play for the Ducks, one of the most iconic colleges in the country. 2-0. Summers lifts it to Pfeiffer, and righty gets a late jump, but catches it. Elks need 6 in the bottom of the 9th, or 7 to go home happy. Here on the Bend Elks YouTube page when we come back. Mateo Rojas, the final pitcher for the Ridgefield Raptors, looking to hold on to this 9-3 lead in the 9th and avoid the sweep. Rojas has been good, a 3.12 ERA, a 1.27 WHIP, and he's 1-0. Will face Troy Sanders. If you're sticking around still, I think Sanders, in his one at-bat left, is enough to stay. Already 2 home runs tonight. One in the 4th, one in the 7th. And a chance for number 3. And he tried for it. Oh, man. Sanders swung out of his shoes. Sanders, Ortiz, and Ferruda. And he tries to lay a bunt out. The man that's homered twice looked to sneak attack the third baseman Tomataka. Let's look back at those swings. The 4th inning, a blast off the fencing just beyond the yellow line. He had that second one too. It went much longer. But here Sanders takes strike 3, 1 out. Jordan Ortiz will hit 2 hits tonight and take a strike. Mateo Rojas from Foster City, California, entering his redshirt sophomore season and recovered from Tommy John surgery this spring. So is finally back out there fully healthy and looks great. 0-2. Ortiz, long look at his red barrel of his bat. Now Rojas and him are ready. And a miss is down and away. The 9-3 score doesn't tell the full story of this game. In the 4th inning, we were tied 2-2. After Troy Sanders' first home run of the night. And then that evaporated because of a lot of free passes. Rojas tried to quick pitch Ortiz. Takes a long look back out to the mound. Get ready to step back in. Fouls it back. Looked like the glove of McCluskey might have popped off, the strap around it. Although the Elks go to Portland this weekend, and they're back home for all of next week. And Ortiz strikes out looking. So another backwards K for Mateo Rojas, and the Elks are down to their final strike.
Now batting for the Elks, number 11, Kevin Peruta.
10 Ks to 2 walks. Peruta takes away. But back to what I was saying. Go to Portland over the weekend, and then the Elks are back home for the entire 4th of July week. 3 games against Walla Walla and then 3 against Yakima, so make sure you get your tickets. And if anybody with the West Coast League happens to be listening, with our fireworks show, July 3rd here at Genna should be the game of the week against the Pippins. That'll be a fun one. And we've even already started talking about the potential outfits we could be coordinating. Get festive for the holidays. And the 4th will be just a normal game as Peruta walks. But Pilot Butte shoots off the fireworks just beyond right field. So from the ballpark, you're able to see them, and the Elks admit fans in, so they're able to do that. Vinny Salvione looking to keep this thing going. And he swings through it. 1-1. Salvione's 4th at bat. He's reached twice, a single and a walk. Rojas for a sec looked like he might have the chance at the immaculate inning, but has thrown some balls since. Started with 5 straight strikes. For the fans that are still in attendance, they want to see the top of the order get another chance. Salvione, base hit. Good night for Vinny. 2 hits. Eli Pupo will step up.
For Bend, left fielder, number 2, Eli Pupo.
Majority of that Elks dugout still on the top step, hoping for a rally in this 9th inning. Back-to-back K's started it, both looking to Sanders and Ortiz. Then Ferutta walked, Salvione singled, and that brings up Pupo. Take away. A year ago, Eli Pupo was that guy in spots like this where he was looking for any at-bat he could get. And he took full advantage. Put the entire Elks coaching staff on notice. Now back for year 2. 2-1. But in every sense of the word, a spark plug. Guy that you can plop into the lineup on any given night. And you know what you're going to get. It's effort and then some. Rojas steps off. Hitters count. 3-1. The only way you can give a team some fight in a moment like this is by walking guys. The Elks have already seen it on the other side. Pupo fouls it away. Full count. Three-two, 2 outs. 9-3 Ridgefield. Both teams with 10 hits. But the Elks just haven't executed. Pupo walks. They're loaded. His time is now called with Jace Miller about to step up. Just a simple mound visit with this whole infield. Take a peek at the upcoming matchup for these Elks, taking on Portland over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and that says Sunday, but it's 2 games on Saturday. The Elks have Sunday and Monday off, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday against Walla Walla, and then the weekend, 4th of July, and a special 4th of July, too, the 250th anniversary of America. Declaration of Independence, 1776, and celebrating it again 2 centuries and a half later. Miller takes a strike there, and he's telling Perry Schofield something about the way that Rojas is delivering. Ferutta, Salvione, and Pupo, your runner. Miller takes up and away. Still down by 6, so even a big swing doesn't get you all the way back. But even one hit to keep the line moving past the baton, that would do a trick. Miller at Luna on 1 hop. He fields it, goes to third, and I'm not sure why Salvione was not running hard, but that'll end the game. And with that, the Ridgefield Raptors have won the first half of the West Coast League and have booked themselves a spot in the postseason.
Elks fans, thank you for coming out to the ballpark for another edition of Bend Elks Baseball. The Elks hit the road.
Big congrats to the Ridgefield Raptors.
So we'll be back in action here on Tuesday.
Not a team that's necessarily been highly touted in the South over the past couple of years. But I'm telling you, since Cowlitz left the league and Ridgefield now gets all these guys, they are legit. And an incredible sight to see them be the first team to book a spot in the playoffs. The team only 30 minutes away from them, the Portland Pickles, that's a team we thought would have a chance at doing it again, but first season without Mark Magdaleno. they have not been the same group. Ridgefield, big congrats in that department. But the Elks tonight, you win the series, you wanted the sweep, but tonight fell flat on their face. Let's look to the positives first. Troy Sanders, a 2-home run game, and now 3 on the summer. I'm telling you, he woke up yesterday with 0, and he goes to bed tonight. A nice cool pillow with 3. The first and then the second, even more impressive. This time, just a courtesy jog from Blaylock. That other angle, that ball was hammered. And Sanders let everybody know on the bat flip. But the reason the Elks find themselves in a spot where they lost this game 9-3 was because of all the walks. 11 walks tonight. They still had 7 strikeouts, but you're not going to rebound from 11 walks. You give the Ridgefield Raptors, who are the best offensive team statistically in the West Coast League South, a chance at all those opportunities with runners in scoring position. They're going to capitalize. And that's something, even if the Elks emptied the kitchen sink in their first 2 games, that they didn't do when ultimately winning this series. But you got to learn from it. And although the Portland Pickles might be right near the bottom with you in the West Coast League South standings, going to their place at Walker Stadium with over 3,000 fans a night, it's a tough place to play. And the Elks are going to have to right the ship, get back on track, and have a motivational series in Portland to keep things rolling. You take the series win, a lot of positives, but your final tonight, 9-3. Raptors win it. 10 hits for both squads, 2 errors for Ridgefield, 1 for Bend, but it was the Raptors coming out on top. They improved to 17-7. They win the first half. Ridgefield on to the playoffs officially, and the Bend Elks fall to 8-13. For Pierce Gordon, my great producer, I'm Aiden O'Neill signing off. We'll see you in Portland. Make sure to tune in on all Bend Elks socials and Bend Elks YouTube for the game tomorrow night.